Hi my lovely friends. So if you're first watching this on YouTube, I've already done an early release of this in Patreon and give a full rendition, if you like, of an explanation as to where I've been. But quickly, it is to do with work. I know that a lot of you know that I have had my workload is like quite heavy, which finishes in about 6 weeks. It should have actually been a week ago, but due to problems and circumstances, it looks like I've got a few more weeks to do. So I'm basically coming on. Well, I hope you had a lovely Christmas, by the way, and New Year. But I'm just going to do like a bit of a catch up, really, and let's just have a chit chat about anything, really. So, well, you know me, I can't come on here without mentioning Wendy Adelson. I bet she thinks, oh, that woman from the UK is gone, and now she's thinking, here she's back, causing trouble again. That's right, I am. So tonight, to be honest, I was going to do something on Donna, but there's just a couple of things that I just want to check out, because a lot has happened, hasn't it? So I just want to give you my thoughts on that, and I have had a few messages asking me about that. And by the way, thank you so much for people that have sent me messages asking me if I'm okay, in here and in Patreon. Thank you. Okay. We all know there's a lot of us that are really cheesed off with what happened with the prosecution, and Wendy still roaming the streets, free as a bird, doing her thing. And quite a lot of people have sort of, I'm not saying that they've disappeared or dropped the case or anything like that, but it was exhausting. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, I'm going to speak for me. For me, the prosecution was exhausting. And when you've been covering a case for quite a few years, and nothing seems to be moving fast with it, because I'm just going to call it as it is. The prosecution just seem to be sitting back on the shackles all the time with things. Nothing seems to be urgent. I'm so over. We've got to make sure this is right and that is right. I'm so over that. And I was over that a long time ago as well. But I went with the flow of people saying, yeah, but Dawn, they've got to get this right, they've got to get that right. I've said this before, but I'm just giving you a quick update, or for anybody that's new here who's not, chatted with me before. I was well over it a long time ago, and then I kind of tried to go with the flow of, yeah, okay, maybe I am being a bit, and I know they can't make no mistake. We went through all that, and I just totally feel it's just an utter disgrace. I'm totally, utterly disgusted. I really am. Rashborn pissed me right off, because he totally made a hash of this case. He dissected it, he pulled it apart, he dragged it out and dragged it out. But the thing is, the prosecution knew that he was representing both sides. They could have done something about it, but them being the laid back that they are, right, just went with it and sat back with it. When they could have done something about it. And it's all right acting cool and like, yeah, well, we don't want to look like we're splitting hairs with everything. We're going to let some things go. No. There's no way you should have give Rashborn 1 ounce of a chance of anything. Right at the start, before we even saw Rashborn in the courts. Don't forget, they knew him anyway. Before we even saw him in the court with Charlie Adelson, I went hunting for him and found clips of him here and there. And there's a video, you can rewind it. I don't even know which one it's under. And I said, oh, I'm not worried about this Rashborn with George Kappelman, because he's just a charmer. I mean, literally, I seen a few clips of him and I thought he's just a charmer. And all the time you've seen him in the court, I nearly said a term then that I don't think I'm allowed to say, but I'm trying to think of a nicer way to put it. Sucking up, let's put it like that, sucking up to the prosecution. I don't know why they didn't just slam him back in his chair and just just put him in his place. And instead of all this coming and going with him, they knew exactly that he was a chancer and he was doing everything. So the minute that they knew that he was going to represent Donna, I mean, he hadn't even stopped representing Donna and Harvey anyway when he was representing Charlie. He was still, even when he was representing Charlie, he never shut up about Donna being innocent, Harvey being innocent and Wendy being innocent. He never shut up about that then. They should have acted then. They should have thought then about, like, I even said then in a video, why is he bothered about Wendy? Wendy doesn't give a shit about him. She's got Laurel, she's got her own attorney. But see, that would have made me smell a rat. But no, it just carried on. So when that happened, I just thought, you know what? If it hadn't have been for the reason that it is, which is Dan Markel, I almost felt like saying to the prosecution, you deserve it. You deserve everything is thrown at you because you've sat back on your asses that long and let him do everything. He's run the show, and all he's done is cast a smile over and used his charm and act innocent and everything, when really, out of all of them in there, in a way, he was the smartest one because he rinsed them all. He fleeced them all. I mean, there is talk that he might have to pay money back. We don't know. But he literally rinsed the Adelsons over a long period of time, and nobody put any pushes on him or put him in a corner. Nothing. They let him carry on doing that. So the other thing that we used to talk about quite a lot, I mean, have you heard that? We used to talk about, this is how long this has been going on, like back in the day. But one of the other things that we did used to talk about quite a lot was, well, we used to originally say whether Harvey would some people used to say, was Harvey involved? Well, I hope they can all see it now. Of course he was. But we used to say, will Harvey be picked up before Wendy? And here we are now, years later, still asking the same thing. I actually think because it'll be easier, they'll get Harvey next. Really, by rights, they should have just got them all. And can I just say, because obviously I'm not a lawyer, and a lot of the time we talk about whether they could have done that, and I thought that straight at the start, like, why didn't they just go and pick them all up, separate a lot of them, and everybody gets out, no, yeah, but they've got to have this, they've got to have that. I felt that they had enough then, and nothing much has changed. Nothing much, really. Not on Wendy. Nothing much has changed. We haven't got much more on Wendy, unless there was something in the Donna thing. But yeah, I don't think a lot. Apart from Donna making that thing, which they didn't know at the time, but saying, more or less like to Wendy, like, what Charlie's done for you. I can't remember it word for word. I can't remember. And so you're now innocent. Words to that effect. But apart from that, really, not much more. But if you kind of put that against all the other evidence that it feels diluted down to us now because we've heard it for that long, it's lost its impact. Where, she was at the crime scene, the bullet bourbon, all that is just so long ago. It just feels so filtered and nothing now. But if we'd only just found that out yesterday or on the same day as all that, Donna sending that message wouldn't have that much impact really. And this is what happens as things go on in crime, in cases. Things do become diluted, like Magbanua became diluted. Junum Chinder, like all her evidence has just filtered away. It means nothing. It didn't matter anyway, did it? Because she was still supporting him even when she found out that he was being convicted, of being a murderer. She was still around. Anyway, so yeah, I'm so over it. And even even when they get Wendy, which there's no reason on this earth why they shouldn't get Wendy. I don't think I'll be applauding the prosecution. I don't, because a long time ago, quite a bit ago, I said then, hand the case over to somebody else. I actually think, if I'd have been Dan Markel's parents, I think by now I would have taken the case from her. I would have been asking, are you up to it? I know the prosecution for the state and everything, but I would have been putting in a complaint, because this is the difference, you see. This is why we need to do what we do. Even you in the comments, make an impact, complain, have a shout about it, because they see all that. But that's why they need us, so that we can say what they can't say because of their vulnerability. They're frightened that, if they say something wrong, they won't get the same representation, because that's how you feel when you're vulnerable. So, Ruth and Phil just have to ride the waves. But I can't imagine really what they want to say. But they've just got to keep that smiling on with the prosecution, thank you, and this, that and the other. But yeah, I think you're disgusted, in my opinion, the way you've let this drag out. Jack Campbell, talking about other cases that they do, they have other cases going on. So what? So do a lot of other prosecution teams. So what? You don't leave it going on for this long, and you didn't all that waiting. I've said all this before. All that waiting to get the tapes deciphered. You're joking. Should have given it a kid on YouTube. It'd have, like that, sorted it out straight away. Absolute joke. So I don't believe any of that. It's all a load of rubbish. Anyway, let's just shut up for a minute going on like that. It's your fault you've got me at it. Right, when people was talking about Wendy going to Austin, Texas, and getting nearer to the border and things like that, I don't think for a minute she's going to go over that border. I don't think that's what's behind it. You see, I'll tell you why I don't. Because, right, let's just have a look at Wendy's personality. Wendy's personality is that everybody does for her. Right, everybody does, and everybody helps her. She's the victim. Reason. Oh no, I can't. I was just going to compare her to somebody else, but I can't. Forget that. Right. She's this victim, and originally did she not have a cousin there? Now I believe she's got a boyfriend there, and anyway. Don't think for a minute this boyfriend means anything to her other than ka-ching, money. She's going to need money. I know that she's still got a dad's at the moment. That's why she wasn't seeing her dad or her mum before they took off to Vietnam. She wasn't bothered after Charlie got put down. put down, sent down. She wasn't bothering with them. And then when Donna got picked up, she started seeing a dad again. That's because she knows she can manipulate a dad, and she can get information out of her dad that he's going to tell her about what's happening with her mum. In case she got picked up the next night or the next week, she'd be up to date in him saying she's not going to say anything about you. Right? So, yeah. So this is what everybody is to Wendy. She leans on everybody. So that's what she's gone to Texas for. She can lean on her boyfriend. She can lean on this cousin, if there is a cousin. She wouldn't care that there's a cousin with kids, or it doesn't matter about anybody's family. She's not. I'm not being thingy, but she's not even bothered about her own kids, because you don't put your kids through that if you care about them. In my book, you don't. So she doesn't care about anybody, Wendy, but Wendy. But the point is, if she did have any thoughts about going over that border, it's not going to happen, because one, I couldn't see a boyfriend of literally 5 minutes, because it's not like he's been around for years and years and years. I couldn't see him going with her. She's not going to take the kids over there, because the kids are of an age where they would say, why, what, if you're innocent, why are we going over the border? I mean, they must already be wondering, why have we left Miami and all our friends anyway? They must already be asking them questions. So she can't do that. And even if anybody thinks, yeah, but she could just go over the border on her own, let me tell you now, Wendi Adelson will not go anywhere on her own. Right? She's not wiped her own backside in nearly 40 years. So she's not going to go over. Could you imagine her? Could you imagine her in Mexico on her own, or anywhere on her own? She wouldn't last 5 minutes. No. So we don't have to worry about her. Now, the other thing that made me think about this border thing is that it's a bit of a, look, I'm so close to the border, for when she's in court. I was next to the border, but I didn't go over, did I? Because I'm innocent, and I believe to the full extent of the law that they will look after me, because I am innocent. And she'll use that one. There's a purpose for Wendy. I said a long time ago, Wendy doesn't do things on impulse. Wendy goes for the marathon. When she was writing the book, it was to gaslight everybody of, oh gosh, that's about Wendy. Her terrible life. She gaslighted Jane. She gaslighted Jeff. She gaslighted her Donna, her mother, her father. So we know that she's gaslighted her kids. We know that without even thinking about it. She's gaslighted everybody. So she thinks she's gaslighting us. I was on the edge of the border. I literally could have walked across. And I didn't, because I'm innocent. And she's so hard-faced. She's so hard-faced. We've seen her in action on the stand and everything, and we're not the only person that she's convincing of anything is herself. There's only one thing that I can tell you 100% that Wendy is doing now, and has been doing since this case exploded, and that is delete on a laptop, delete on her iPad, delete, because she doesn't know when she's going to get picked up. I mean, I think in her head she's still possibly still partly convincing herself that she's not going to get picked up. But because she's told everybody that she deletes everything, it's just what she does, which is not what she does at all. But, well, we know it's not what she does, because when she was in the interview, and they're asking her about Amy and Dan's girlfriend, and about when he's here, and that she was coming over and things like that. She was looking in her phone for the information, so she shouldn't delete everything. That's a load of rubbish. But she's got to make sure that she keeps doing that. One, so that there's no evidence of anything. I mean, you can bet your life the minute Donna sent her that message, that text message, it was in Donna's phone when she was rereading it back, but it would have been deleted immediately out of her phone, straight away. And when she was around Harvey and Donna wasn't there, she would have been telling Harvey to delete everything out of his phone as well. But anyway, she will delete everything. She will be doing that, and she has been doing that, so that part of the story will hold up. Well, I don't have anything, because like I said, years ago, I delete everything. So that's the only thing that we can say 100% that she is doing. Anything else we don't really know about, other than gaslighting everything. Can somebody, now somebody did give me a little bit of info, but I'm just wondering if any more has come up on that Jane, whether that Jane is still her mate, or whether she woke up, whether anybody spoke to her and said to her, can you not see what she did to you? She took you for a walk and gaslighted you, and then turned round and asked you all that on the stand. It wasn't you that brought Jeff's name up. No, because she'd played Jane like a puppet to do that for her. So anyway, we've been down that lane, but yeah, that's where I think we are at the moment. Now, like I said, I was going to come on and do about Donna tonight, but I'm going to do that in the next couple of days. I just wanted to do a bit of a catch up, because I haven't been on, and there's just a couple of date things, and I know some things have come out that are off the record on Donna, so I'd just like to go over that, and that's it. And again, thank you for people that have sent me messages and asked where I was, and I'm not left. Like I keep saying, I'm not going anywhere. It's a lot of us have had a hard time on this case, because it's like I said to my patrons, this case, it's like a double case, because we've got the case of Dan Markel, of course, and all the co-conspirators around that, and it's also like we've got a separate case which is to do with what's been going on with the attorneys. I mean, that's been a case in itself, keeping up with that. Like I said earlier, what Rushbourne did, gave everybody the runaround and just dragged this out. So we've had a lot of that going on in this. So, and I think like quite a lot of people, as I say, have got really cheesed off at the prosecution because they've done nothing. Because what they've done, in retrospect, really, on this case, is very little. It's only Charlie away. That was an ongoing saga. Now we've got the same with Donna. This is all down to Rushbourne, but it's all down to the prosecution, because the prosecution should have said he can't represent two. It's conflicting, both. They shouldn't have took any chances. That being laid back. See, I did get told by a few YouTubers, which is fair enough. I don't mind being put in line. It's good for me. It's good for me to be challenged. But they did say, that's her way, and it's where she comes from, and not buying that where she comes from. No, might be her way, but I'm not having where she comes from, because there's a few attorneys from there, and I've seen them, and they act very different. So anyway, shut up, Dawn. Stop going on. Right. Okay, so that's me done for tonight. Only a quick one. And next up, I'm going to go over a few things with what I think about what's going on with Donna. I was just going to say, no, I'm going to save it for Donna. So that's it. So again, all the best for 2025. I mean, I've just caught it in January, haven't I? In time. Yeah. So I'm going to say, stay safe, good night, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.